Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abram. You know my partner Albert Cameron. Albert, we've always said this, the Ohio Athletic Association, Sportsmanship Award, Ethics, Integrity, all probably nouns and adjectives that we assign to certain people, but sometimes in the heat of competition they get pushed to the side.
Yeah, and at least they take the time to look for it. They look for coaches who care about kids. Look for coaches that have an idea about what it's like to treat people right. And we had a couple local coaches received honors for their sportsmanship, ethics, and integrity. Those three words are important words in today's world. Cheryl Ficco from West Branch, girls soccer coach. Congratulations, coach, for a job well done. And Tom Pavlansky went from Lakeview, now at Pole, into the Pavlansky family's big in football. Congratulations to you, Tom, also. And on this show, we try to hit academics hard. We try to hit the pro sports hard. But our main focus is on local, and that includes coaches, George. It's quite an honor.
Yeah, and first of all, as you say, that family's been synonymous.
Right.
But, you know, the thing about it is, like, you could still be good and do it right. See, I learned that a long time ago. When I was younger, I wouldn't have liked myself then.
I don't think none of us do.
Now, and I've looked back, you know, and I think two things that helped us a lot is just getting older, the maturity comes, and then secondly, training all those kids we trained that would come with their mother and father or whatever, and we saw the relationship, the bond, etc. And I thought as a coach I had to ignore that to be successful. And then in retrospect, I think I could have been a little better. But I do say this, you could still win and do it right. I think Bobby Bowden,
we have somebody just died. That's
we're going to talk about him in our national segment. You could still, like that scene in that We Are Marshall.
Right.
When everybody's killed but like 4 people, and the coach comes in and he says, here, he says, take what you want.
Awesome.
Now, Al, there aren't 5 people. Do you think Barry Switzer
Not a thought.
would have done that?
No, there's a lot of coaches that would.
And I don't think as good a guy, quote unquote, as Joe Paterno was, I don't think he would have given that advantage. He would have never let Pitt
the advantage. He wouldn't give him that advantage.
Yeah.
In his mind, he would think, we're giving him an advantage.
Yeah.
I can't give him anything.
Yeah.
Seems like Coach Doug Phillips at YSU's fitting that bill.
Great.
Everything we've heard about him is, in today's world, called a player's coach. That has changed a lot for George and I. Before that meant you don't do what you want. Now we have a general idea what that means.
Yeah, we've evolved, I would think, just from getting to be old goats.
Yes.
You know, and I think you look and you see things. I'll tell you what has impressed me. I was doing a game on TV, and this stuck so much. The old Edinburgh coach, all he did was win 20 games every year. And we're sitting there, and I said, Greg, I said, you're an all-star game. What are you looking for? I mean, we hate all-star games. And he said, I said, are they playing hard or what? He says, Coach, I'll tell you what I do notice when they don't play hard. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Little thing like that.
Little thing. I caught it. And also, myself, I thought as a player, I learned from being coached some things I would never do. Like whether it being hypocritical or telling a kid one thing and doing another, or not having the same set of, I'm not saying treating them all the same set of rules. And I thought that sometimes the don'ts were more of a teacher than the do's.
I get it, George. That's true. And Coach Phillips right now is in the middle of a do and don't. Media Day came to YSU and got canceled again. Yeah. We were talking to Greg, our producer. He's kind of nervous too about things going back to where they were. We're praying that the King football and everything goes with it in high school, with the spirit of the schools and the kids fired up for the band and cheerleaders and majorettes. We hope it goes full off, but right away something was canceled. And George, that media day when that was canceled, that put a scare in both of us.
Yeah, I want to be wrong. I don't want to go back.
No.
But the good news is at least football's outside. And I'm sure between some common sense and some care, we can pull that off. I'm not as worried about the spectators. Now, basketball worries me. You're in that closed gym. And as we said, Al was really concerned. And I would kind of followed his lead. It was the first time in 65 years I hadn't seen a game.
Yeah, and I just talked to my wife and my daughter about it this morning on the way over to the show, that talking about the vaccine has helped me immensely. Like I never walk into any place nervous anymore. Like before, I would never go. So I really, truly believe in the vaccine has helped immensely, and you can see that pro sports and others are trying to lead others to do that.
We have something in our pro segment about the NFL. Basically, they know how to hit somebody the hardest. It's the pocketbook.
Yes.
No longer reschedule if we can't reschedule, and they're not going to go out of their way. Like last year, they penalized Pittsburgh for Baltimore missing.
Right.
It was very wrong, and I'm no Steeler fan.
Right,
God, you know that.
Right.
And now this year, they're basically coming from the other end. They're saying neither team will get paid.
Yeah,
this Kirk Cousins, those Vikings they're going to hang him up.
Yeah, I know. That's the truth.
They're going to hang him by his feet.
Yeah, the decision in the locker room is going to affect. Decisions is going to affect the locker room.
How about we just let him in one play? He'll think he's.
I better get that vaccine.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about this Youngstown game. This Incarnate Word. I know they've been served up for the bigger boys like Alabama and A&M and such, but this is no easy game.
Well, we know this, that Coach Phillips is getting ready for the game, and we were just talking about old dogs learning new tricks. I like what he's doing. And he's broke practice into two separate groups. Guys that have went through it, have learned and know the basics and know how 2 days run. He made a good point that since 2019, some of these kids have not been in camp for a long time.
And not to camp like you knew either.
No.
Sports in the afternoon, weightlifting.
Yes.
No hitting. They don't know camp, do they?
Yeah, so that's what. So he's decided to break, he said he learned it from Coach Matt Campbell, a local guy from Mount Union.
Hey, let me say this. I don't see anything I don't like from him. He's ranked ninth in the country.
Yeah, every pro team, every college has been after Coach Campbell.
Yeah.
And so learning new tricks and trying new ways with kids, it's worth the try.
What do you think? 6 a.m. breakfast team meetings, then they practice.
Break it into practice.
The others are in the weight room and they switch them.
Probably for same thing. Buddy Morris, who comes on our radio show, he's big with Arizona Cardinals. He talks about how important rest is. I mean, he channels rest and sleep as important as anything else. He does.
Yeah, that's one thing where I think we didn't realize.
No.
And I'll tell you, when I see these kids running 7 with the tennis racket in the back of the softball bat and everything, I know one thing that I'm pretty sure of: they don't get enough rest.
They're not getting enough rest. Yeah. I learned in coaching track. It took me because basketball I gave them no rest. No. I was not good.
I wasn't. No.
But when I got in track, I found out the value of rest because the kids were ran a lot better when they were fresh, hydrated, and got a lot of sleep. Talking about better, we're talking about the YSU Penguins coming to football season. Their rankings in the Missouri Valley came out, and let's first look at the individual rankings. Grant Dixon, linebacker, was picked for first team.
Yes.
Congratulations to Grant for that honor. Jaleel McLaughlin, Dan Becker, Zaire Jones, James Jackson, and Christian Turner were also picked for second team and honorable mention.
There's something scary here.
6 players.
Something scary.
What do you got?
Southern Illinois.
Yeah, I know.
Now, when I think North Dakota State, South Dakota, Northern Iowa, Southern Illinois doesn't jump to the top, but I'm afraid.
They've been coming on strong.
You see what they have?
13 players named to the All-Conference team. You're talking about somebody that they know. We remember South Dakota State from last year. They're still the preseason favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Getting the most votes, and with North Dakota State right behind them. YSU is picked 9th out of 12. I would put that up on my bulletin board. I'm saying, listen, that's the lowest we've ever been picked, or close to the lowest. Let's prove them wrong. I guarantee you Coach Phillips and his staff is using that as ammunition.
Just have to be able to throw the ball a little better. I think they're going to be able to run the ball.
Mm-hmm. That's their goal
from the spring.
That is their goal.
They don't want to be Houston.
Flamboyant.
No.
They wanted, and they found the running back from Notre Dame College in the spring. They were blessed to get that transfer. Let's hope that they keep heading this way, because they were going that way in the spring, and then all of a sudden the last game threw them for a loop. Yeah. I'm hoping they come back before they were and come back strong.
I listened to all those games in the spring.
Yeah, you listen to everything, no question.
I don't know.
Because let's understand, the schedule is not easy in Missouri Valley. You'll play at home one game, go on the road the next, and all of a sudden you're thinking, "Jeez, when is this?"
Then one of those easy ones.
They think it's easy, right?
You.
Oh yeah, they think it's easy.
And Bobby Hannon, who can't listen to him?
Yeah, Bobby, he'll tell us about it.
I could listen to Bobby like seven
seven
days in a row.
He's been classic forever.
He's the best. Hey, the YSU hoops, they're not messing around.
No.
Open at Penn State. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to get them, now's the time because they're in flux.
Right, they are.
This is, who knows? I don't know what Coach Calhoun's got up his sleeve, but I know this: if you're going to get Penn State, this isn't a bad time.
And he decided. He said, "Listen, I'm going to up the schedule. I want the fans around here to see what's going on." I know Coach Slocum has always believed in that. Also, he's playing teams from all the big conferences, and he's got 6 big games at the biggest center. Good luck to Coach Calhoun as he tries to continue the revitalization, the movement up of YSU.
Big 10, Big 12, Mid American.
Pretty good.
No. But their league, nothing wrong with their league. No. That's I always laugh when people. So I said, "Have you seen those teams?" Well, I said, "Well, you better take a look."
No question.
Because you better take a look.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Major League Baseball. You know, they're turning me against it. You know, here I am, an old timer. I used to, the baseball cards, the thing we all did. Listen to the AM radio with the buzzing in it and the clock radio. I'd have to hit it.
Yes.
But they have to do something. They cannot allow teams to change teams August 1st. I mean, Albert Scherzer. What?
Yeah, I know.
Dodgers, $300 million? No.
Never
the
blinked
two
an eye.
sluggers for the Yankees.
Never blinked an eye.
Never. But what makes me mad, I want to hammer the Yankees, and I can't because Cubs paid it.
Yeah, they got paid the money, but the Dodgers are the team. I mean, Scherzer and Turner come to a team that's favored to win it already. And so the rich do get richer. And
we should add a phrase to that, the Alan George phrase, and the poor have no chance.
Yeah,
that should be our addendum.
We believe that.
Oh,
we believe that with all our heart.
Stop.
They don't want to hear it.
No.
And the reason we have data. You want to hear data driven? Here's what happens. Just when the Pirates they're trying to revitalize their farm system. Yeah. Cleveland did the same thing. So just when they get 2024 and their farm system gets good, the Yankees will say, "I'm glad your young players are playing good. Yeah. We're going to go get 3 All-Stars.
Yeah, we'll
just go get 3 more All-Stars."
It's like they were saying when I'm watching TV, "Boy, this Memphis Grizzlies team is young." And I'm thinking, tell LeBron that when he goes and gets
Westbrook.
So they're young. Now, if you had to play with your hand,
then it means something.
No draw poker.
Right.
Well, they don't.
Yeah, so baseball is really becoming an epidemic with this. Basketball already has.
I could quit watching.
And
I know that's how sick.
Well, it's frustrating.
When I found out Scherzer went to the Dodgers, first of all, he was going to San Diego, which isn't much better. Then those 2 sluggers go to the Yankees.
Right.
And the next thing you know, the Cubs, they have no team. They have no, if you're a Cubs fan, man, you better, and did Nate Powell in that ballpark last night? I don't know how many White Sox fans were there. But the point,
they always have. The Cubs always have. They've been bad for so long.
Yeah.
They just got good last 7 years.
Yeah.
Does it
bother you? Does it bother you or not?
I'm trying to kind of numb to it. I mean that.
Because you knew it was coming. You just didn't know who was going where.
I've seen it coming forever. And
I hate the Dodgers now.
Yeah, they're easy to hate.
I was a Dodger fan when I was a kid. I had a Brooklyn Dodger.
Yeah, the Yankees were that team. Yeah. Now it's the Dodgers.
I just hope they don't and I still think if they're that smart, they better get a closer.
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't get one. But that doesn't mean they won't get one.
No.
That doesn't mean they won't get one.
Now, the Cubs cashed in their tickets.
Yeah, that one surprised me the most, only because they are a big spending team.
They'll be right back at it.
That's why I didn't understand that.
You know what? Listen, in 2 years, you know what they're responsible for? Like $1 million.
So they gave it all.
They go boom, boom, and in 3 years,
so in other words, they're going to have a brand new team.
No, a whole new team.
Yes,
because they're not going to put
up with it.
They're not going to put up
not also runs.
No,
All-Stars. I got you.
No, they're not going to play.
Yeah, where the Indians and Pirates, they start over completely. They don't get just an all-star team built up. It's completely different around here.
Oakland guys suspect. I don't give drug testing much thought anymore, but Evidently, somebody
That kid,
screwed up.
they lost their top one.
And they threw Marte in there. And then temporarily he's hit, but he's got to hit for 60 more games.
Yeah, he's a good player, though. So they know he's a good
How
player.
about no pay? That penalty, 80 games no pay, that's a severe penalty.
Make you stop and think, right?
I'd have to be very careful before I violated that thing. That's just ridiculous. Let's talk NBA. Well, it was Olympic, but it still was NBA. And I told Al, I said, I decided that I haven't watched, first, the next thing there's going to be axe throwing and cow dung chip throwing. And I mean, I just, they're skateboarding down the rail. I guess I'm just too old. The Olympics. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I consider an Olympic sport.
Right.
But
it's changed.
They're going to be juggling, standing on somebody's head here pretty quick. But anyhow, let's talk about that. Durant, I called Al, I said, hey, Al, we're going to have to talk about the Olympics. I said, I'm going to watch wire to wire the semis and finals. So I did. And I'll tell you what I saw. I saw a one-man band out there early. If he's not there against Australia, it's 20-8.
And that's what kind of player he is. They're always trying to decide if it's him or he falls into the category of great players. And he's in the top three. Offensively, scoring, he's number one. No, he doesn't rebound and play defense.
He doesn't pass like LeBron either. I mean, to be honest.
No, the other things he doesn't do as well.
No.
But scoring, he's a machine scoring. And in the Olympics, that's the one change that people don't talk about enough. It's hard to score.
Talk about it.
Well, first of all, they beat you up. I mean, they turn you and hold you and grab you.
Like the old NBA.
Yeah. So that's the way it used to be. And
they rim protect. They have guys in the key.
3 of them.
And they'll knock the ball off the rim.
Yeah, nobody has to step outside the key like an NBA. So they all wait in there, hit the ball off the rim, and then they beat you up. So the scores are not, like George made a good point on our radio show, the quarters are shorter.
Yeah.
But still, when they're in the 80s, it's a different game.
Yeah, that would work out to about 95, 100. And that would be a low-scoring NBA game. We don't see many of those.
No.
And also, the NBA went to the printing press last week for Benjamins. Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard. Are you kidding me? These guys are up to $50 million a year.
Think about that.
Steph has signed 2.
So I do know the teams are making money then. If they can pay the players that much, jeez, oh man.
Steph has signed 2 $200 million contracts.
2 of them.
So he'll probably get another one. He's not that old.
No, he's not.
So I mean, it's ridiculous.
I don't mind I don't like it.
I know what you're going to say.
I don't mind the rich. I mean, the great players.
I know what you're going to say.
But there's average Joes, George.
10 million.
Yeah, that's weak.
Well, then there's guys like LeBron. He got that Tristan Thompson, the max. He should give everybody back.
But he ran the show. He
still
runs the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you said, Chris Paul might be the president.
No, LeBron
tells him what
the
to
general.
do.
He's the president pro temp or whatever it is. Now LeBron is Capa de la Tutti Capa. He's the head man. He's the Al Capone.
Everything's run through him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to make a decision in the NBA
about where to play, when to play, how soon.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
He's getting.
I have no trouble with, but the mediocre guys. And we love T.J. McConnell, both of us. Love him because he's in there on guts and hard work. $9 million a year?
Yeah, think about that. Amazing.
4 years, 35
Give him credit, boy.
I give all we saw him as a skinny ninth grader. We looked at each other. We said, I don't know, man. I don't see
I still have
it.
the picture on my phone that I show my nephew, my grandsons.
Yeah.
Is this look what he looked in ninth grade? So don't think he
doesn't look like it now, does he?
No.
And you know what else too? Funny story. Al and I have some friends. We knew when he went out to play for Sean Miller at Arizona. What's he doing that for? Robert Morris or whatever. Duquesne. Al and I said, we're getting reports that he's the best guy in the team.
Yeah, when he wasn't allowed to play.
And when I told you should have seen my buddies. When I told him, I said, no, I'm only hearing this. I wasn't there. They're telling me he's the best player in the team. Yeah. You should have heard shut up. I said, I'm just telling you what I'm hearing.
Well, I heard from the right sources.
Well, of course.
The head coach.
Yeah.
And when Sean says, I'm telling you, our best player is T.J. McConnell. And he's not only went out and semi-proved it, he's proved it in the NBA. Leads the NBA in steals per minute. Every time he's on the floor, he's the big plus-minus guy. And that's why he got the money. He doesn't. What he looks like this little white guy out there. Doesn't fit the NBA standard.
Yeah, how's he doing?
When he gets in there, he plays. He dominates.
He guards this guy, he picks him up full court, turns him
every time.
I love it. I mean, I do. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch gears because they stole the show this week in the NFL, back to back.
They always do.
They stole it extra. Then let's put it this way, because what happened? There was no ceremony last year.
Right.
They had that 100th year thing, the centennial. They had let a few more in. Now this year, another stellar class, and the next thing you know, it's 2 nights. It's wall to wall people. Funny story. Yesterday, when Peyton Manning was talking, he alluded to Tom Brady and everybody booed.
I know.
And somebody said something. I said, well, I think it's a combination. There were a lot of Colt fans there because of Peyton, a lot of Steeler fans there because they own the place. They run the place. So, and then even probably some Ohio State fans.
Right.
So I don't think I'd put a lot. I don't think he's a villain like wrestling.
There's a lot of people jealous too.
Well,
a lot of people are jealous.
There's a lot to be jealous of. Starting with what, 7?
Anything.
Let's start with that?
Yeah, anything.
Let's talk about the Hall of Fame though. Several Steelers. I mean, let's face it, they are, along with the Dallas Cowboys, they're America's team. Yeah, Dallas has the title, but the Steelers are right there. Now, as far as value of the franchise, you got the Giants there, et cetera.
Right.
But let's talk about the Steelers going in. I personally, I hate to say this, we're going to hear it, but I don't think Cowher belongs in there. No, I thought one title. The second automatic, Flores. I thought Flores should have been 20 years ago. I think one puts you on the fence, and I think losing the 4 home games in the AFC Championship puts him out. But obviously, and everybody in his speech, his admiration for Marty and having Marty's wife and daughter there, I teared up.
Yeah, some people get it. I mean, they get it.
Cowher gets it.
And the thing I thought all of them got it. When I listened to those speeches, I thought, you never know what it's like behind the scenes.
Right.
But speaking from the heart, speaking from their notes, they all gave the credit to other people, which I really love. And so
Peyton had a list of people to thank, and I saw his guest list. That Tom Moore's still coaching down there with.
He comes back all the time.
Tampa Bay.
He hooks on with other teams all the time. Yes.
And we had him there though.
Yep, I know.
And guess who else was on his list? Kenny Chesney. He does those commercials with him and all. So they must be good. They're Tennessee guys, huh?
Oh, yes. All the way.
So there's the
all the way,
is that the tie, the commercial?
Big time.
And then
Big time.
And now Manning gets a huge ovation. He's comfortable.
Well known.
He's comfortable in front of the camera and the mic.
Yeah, he's well known.
As far as that goes. I watch him on that quiz show, like the College Bowl. He's outstanding.
Yeah, that's why I got the ovation. Like he gets the ovation, not just the football fans. But people that watch TV.
Saturday Night Live, he was funny.
They get to know him. They know him personally.
No, he was funny. Now, Paul Molo, let's say this. You talk about an intelligent man, well thought out, well spoken. One word comes to my mind with him, it's humility. Have you seen a guy that could change a game more by himself, that humble?
Yeah, that's what the teammates and coaches who would work with him, that's their trademark for him. That we all know how great a player he was, but more importantly, behind the scenes, how humble he is, and still to this day, does not like to go up in front of people. Does not like that. That's not his thing.
Speaks very
quietly. Yes.
Then he get on that field and he'd rip your head off. Just because.
Right.
Hey, also something else to talk about the exhibition games. Now we don't put a lot of faith in them. Although you can catch a good under once in a while. Let's talk about that for a minute as far as their TV numbers. Better than the Olympics. This country is football berserk. Like, we don't like football in America. We love it.
Why do you think, George? Any idea why?
I got a couple ideas.
Do you?
Yeah, FanDuel, DraftKings.
That's my thinking.
Gambling.
That's my thinking. Fantasy football and gambling.
And let's face it, they've promoted it down our throat. What other sport has a 365 show talking about the league in March, April, May, June, and July? There's no other sport that people talk about. It is in the consciousness of the fans. And right now, what do you and I call it on the radio?
King.
The King, because the King's around the corner. It's about 3 weeks away.
Yeah, I think fantasy, gambling, and marketing, what they do, all three go in. And then I think many people are going to college. A lot of people go to college. They fall in love with their college football teams, and then a lot of legacy parents passing down.
Yeah.
Favorite team. That's what's interesting because you don't have one.
You're
one of the few people that
we used to
doesn't have a favorite
when I
team.
grew up, we were like 3 hours from Baltimore, 2 hours from Pittsburgh. So there was most everyone loved the Steelers and Pirates. I will say that. But I tended toward the Colts and the Dodgers. But the Dodgers have sickened me so bad now with this.
Well, yeah, they're not.
I can't root for them either. But I will say this: that the thing about the football. We're seeing it locally in Eastern Ohio and Western PA.
It's always been like that here.
But the numbers. We have several teams co-opting. I think we said we were talking to our buddy Bill Bourne. I think Chalker's on his schedule, and they canceled the first many games because of lack of players.
Yeah, right across the border, West Middlesex is co-op with Charlottesville.
Yeah.
So it's that freight train is hidden because of the size of schools.
Do you think CTE has anything to do with it?
No, I don't.
Okay.
When people say that, I don't. I think for every 3 kids who aren't out for football, I think that's what I'd say.
That's why I wanted to ask you.
I don't think a lot. I don't think a lot.
I wanted to ask you. We've got about 3.5 minutes. We had to talk about Bobby Bowden. I look and I rooted for him. Dadgummit. I mean, wide right. The poor guy could have 3 more.
Right.
If his kicker were dependable, he'd have 5 of those things that Saban holds up.
Right.
But anyway, here's what I check about the Marshall movie. People, do yourself a favor. It's called We Are Marshall. And there's a scene in it when that plane is flying over the mountain and it goes down. You'll jump right out of your seat. But better yet, look when they get a new coach in Marshall and he goes to his rival at West Virginia, Bobby Bowden, for help. And he opens up the room. He says, take what you want.
Yeah, and we had the Marshall coach on here. And
he's passed since, yes.
And told us how, tears in his eyes, how he appreciated Bobby Bowden for doing that. We have always been a part of Bobby Bowden's school of love because how he's honest and how he's down to earth. And he also had some winning in there also. But he also, George, he's got it.
He built her from a girls' school, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
They wouldn't get a home and home because people were afraid to go there. He'd go to Nebraska, go to Oklahoma, go to Southern Cal. He didn't care.
No, and he realized when he hit to Florida, he said, I know I can win there because he was smart.
Yeah.
The recruiting base.
He was right.
And he said, nobody was great then. Now, he said, if I did a Florida State right now, I can never be as good.
Because Southern Florida, Central Florida, Miami, Florida, I get you. It makes sense.
Before he rounded out the players.
Absolutely. A couple minutes left. We don't salute maybe as many women's sports as we should, but hats off to that USA. Those girls with 5 golds. I don't care whether it's 5 golds.
Yeah, they're dominating. And if there was an upset, it'd be girls.
Taurasi and Bird, 5 of them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting who they get to replace them.
Yeah, they need to replace.
Because as we talked to a women's coach on Saturday, and he said it best. Our 15 to 20 women in the world are better than others, but he said that then they catch up quickly.
Hey,
it's not as big.
Stewie's not that personality. She doesn't have that Taurasi swag. As good as Stewie is, Taurasi's a different cat.
Yeah, she's one that's around though. At least we'll keep dominating for a while though.
Last minute, talking about Omar Vizquel in the news for the wrong reasons, some bad things going on. You just read and you hope there's nothing to it, but it sounds like bad news.
Yeah, you hate to see any athlete.
Yeah.
In any news.
In the police blotter.
Anything in trouble because a lot of kids put them up on a pedestal.
Absolutely. 30 seconds left. The kid going from high school right to Ohio State to start earning swag or whatever you call it, Neil or whatever. That can't be.
Get used to it.
Is that good?
Get used to it. We might not like it.
We don't.
It's here to stay.
So they're not doing it for this 60-year-old crowd.
That's not going back.
You heard it here. Thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.